Hello, Sid.
Hey Emerson, how's it
How are
going?
you doing?
Good, good, good. Yeah.
How was it after our talk?
A lot of stuff happened after a talk
Oh,
actually.
good. Tell me.
Yeah. So a lot of unraveling of thought patterns
Yeah,
and concepts, and honestly started to see that almost everything is a fabrication of
yeah,
thought.
yeah,
Even thought itself, because
yeah,
I don't even know what thought is. Right?
yeah.
Because thought is another label for something that we don't know about.
Exactly.
Yeah. And other than that, there were layers of emotion. There was where there was resistance. And then I started asking the same questions um, like what's the difference between um, like pain in your chest and not pain in your chest?
Yeah,
Like it started to collapse the duality.
yeah,
Uh, where now it's like very, very clear. Um, and it's not even like it's like very transparent basically.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah, that's what I'm.
sobriety, like a sobriety.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you know what's funny, like in the afternoon I was quite angry. i
yeah,
was like I was so frustrated because I the story the thoughts in my head were like I've wasted so much time, I mean, like that's what came up. Like it was like
yeah,
I spent like 6 years seeking or something like that.
yeah,
um So I mean, those are, but like again, like the frustration passed, but I allowed myself to be frustrated as well,
yeah,
because there's no position, so there's no
yeah,
right or wrong way to be.
yeah. So it's okay, whatever seems to appear, right?
Yeah,
Anger, right?
yeah,
And especially that you had a belief that it's hopeless.
yeah.
What else did you
So
believe? There was a lot there yesterday, right?
there was so much there yesterday. Well, there are things I want to ask you though, like because I mean, these aren't there are three questions. Um, so one of them that was coming up for me before this meeting was I was actually feeling very like I am feeling very confident now because there is nothing to avoid and nothing to seek.
Yeah.
But one belief in my mind was like, oh, like you can't be that confident in front of Emerson. Emerson is your teacher.
No, I'm not a teacher.
So like don't act confident in front of Emerson, right? So like that was that belief.
what's
So
what's what's between confident and not confident?
shit, nothing.
Yeah.
So the one thing I was dealing with was like, shit, like am I gonna be a sage now? Like are people gonna think of me as some sage kind of
That's
dude?
just a thought that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's what I want to talk about though, because I would just want to talk about the thoughts in question. So I think that's the final piece that is stopping the full letting go, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I'm with my parents, like my mind is imagining like once I let go of this, I'll become like super different as a person, and everybody is going to respond to me differently.
Yeah.
And that's what my mind is wondering, like,
Yeah.
what,
Well,
yeah.
what's between mind and no mind?
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
mind is
yeah.
trying to go to the future or the past. Both are
Future. Yeah.
relevant. Any thoughts are relevant, basically, right? There's
Yeah.
just this directness, this isness that is always here, right? So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
the mind tries to go, well, I'm going to be a sage now. I'm not going to be
yeah.
unable to talk. That's just delusion again, right?
That's just BS,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
What is a sage even, right? Like we don't even know
It's
what a
just a
sage.
four-letter word, SAGE.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, and everything is like fabricated, like
yeah,
everything is fabricated, like literally everything.
yeah,
So the other thing was like, so I'm sure this would go for like words like I, mom,
yeah,
dad, like stuff like that as well.
yeah. If you look at it, yeah, everything is, everything is fabricated, but it's what's between reality and illusion?
Shit, I
Yeah,
can't like think
yeah,
about it.
yeah, exactly.
Can't think about it.
The words can only take you into positions like fabricated, not fabricated, but it's not even that, right? Because you can't think about it. Yeah,
And I also like what's between confidence and no confidence,
exactly. Yeah,
because that's what's holding me up
yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Because if you're
So,
not confident, it's trying to go to confident. But if you go in between, then it cuts through the delusion that you're either because the I hides in I am confident, I am not confident.
oh, that's true.
Yeah,
It hides in duality.
that's
And
right. Yeah,
if it's feeling not confident, it's always lacking I'm confident.
that's right.
And
Yeah,
if it's I'm confident, then it's fearing I'm not confident.
exactly.
It's
Yeah,
kind of like it's like a
yeah.
fear and desire, basically.
It
Like
is. It tries to go to the next. It tries to create an
so
illusion of the next. Yeah,
crazy. So I actually this is funny because we were talking about me speaking and creating a YouTube channel.
yeah,
So the thought in my mind yesterday was I'm not ready.
yeah.
But then I started to think like, what does ready even mean?
Exactly. Yeah,
And so
yeah,
then I just started speaking like whatever came to mind
yeah.
essentially. And I've already recorded 2 videos.
Oh wow,
Uh,
you have. Send me the
yeah,
link.
yeah. I will send you the link.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
But it's crazy, right? Like there's no waiting, there's no process.
No, no, no processing yet. It's yeah. What's in between clear and not clear?
Yeah, yeah. So one thing, again, this is also just a thought. Um, I mean, I noticed there are points where like it's just like I'm just invisible. Like there's nothing separating anything.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Aside from a thought. Without thought,
aside,
there's no separation really.
yeah,
Or non no, there's no separation or non separate or non-separate. Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
There's no words. There's no beliefs.
There's no
There's just like
beliefs.
a factory setting, like you have a computer, it's just there's no apps in it yet. It's just clear. And then you have apps like
Yeah.
thoughts, beliefs. And then you click on the app, you know what I'm saying? And then it opens up a whole bunch of different windows.
So it's always the wordless. It's
Yeah.
always this. Like
It's always the wordless. Yeah. Yeah.
it's always the wordless. Wordless.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Or even saying
Mm,
the wordless is a word, but we have to
yeah.
use words somehow. But you know what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say and not say
Yes.
at the same time. Yeah.
What I'm trying to say and not say. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So one thing my mind was again, this is all a projection here.
Yeah.
Um, it was like, oh, what's going to happen to my story? Like once I go back to work at my office,
That's the
people are.
future. Irrelevant.
That's another thought,
That's
basically.
just another thought. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You know what they say, right? Uh, Before chop wood carry water, after chop wood carry water.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I was like, this is so mundane. This is like,
It is so mundane. Yeah.
like, oh, what the hell? Yeah, so like it
I'm
was
I'm so happy that because when I saw you yesterday, you were so depressed. Like
uh,
you were
yeah,
so depressed and you were like you lost all hope in like life basically because what were your
yeah.
belief system? What did you get from radical non-duality? What was it that you were thinking?
So what I was stuck on was this thing called the process.
Yeah.
Like
Dropping
so
away of the me, contracted
dropping away
energy.
of energy, an energy contraction,
Yeah.
and so my mind projected that will come sometime in the future. Until then, I had to wait.
Yeah.
And what we discussed yesterday just completely destroyed the conceptual duality altogether.
Yeah.
And so once it got destroyed up here, also on an emotional level, energetic level,
Yeah.
it seemingly stopped
Yeah.
separating itself. So yeah,
Did you talk to your parents?
and they're very enthusiastic now
Oh,
because like
good.
they feel like I have a lot more energy for
Yeah,
life and
because
everything.
before everyone was worried about you, huh? And I would not be
Yeah.
surprised. Yeah.
They told me to talk to a psychiatrist. That's what they were
Oh,
saying.
wow.
Yeah. So
Because
and I was
you
telling,
were just repeating, there's no me, there's nothing to do,
yeah,
there's
I was saying like this is not in my control. And I said like this is it. There's just no issue. I'm like, what's the problem with being unemployed? Like I was just like regurgitating like everything.
Yeah.
Um,
You're just parroting, right? You're just a parrot,
I'm
and
just a part, yeah.
and
Because
then
it's just
but
words,
they were
yeah.
like and they were getting worried because you're like, what the hell is happening to him, right? Like you
Yeah.
quit your job, right? Did you quit your job?
I took leave, so thankfully I haven't quit yet. But like I took
Okay,
leave.
good, good. Okay. Yeah. Because you didn't have any motivation anymore, right? You're like, what's the point of this? What's the
Yeah.
yeah.
I told my mom, I'm going into samadhi. I need a break. Yeah,
And what
yeah,
did she say?
and she's like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, you should talk to someone. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah. Um, so this is what I wanted to speak about. Again, concepts here. But earlier, I used to think about a lot of concepts like reincarnation,
Yeah.
karma. What do you think about those now?
Um, what's between karma and no karma?
Oh, like all of that is just a story. It's just a
Yeah.
spiritual story. There's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
substance to it.
No, no, no. Yeah.
People are sort of like co-opting this no experience
Hmm.
and creating fabrications out of them, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel being free from concepts is the true freedom in a
It
way.
is. It's freedom from the concept of freedom because
Yeah.
freedom becomes conceptualized now by the idea that there's freedom that can be attained. There's
Yeah.
freedom that is being hidden, right? So being attained is a concept. All of that is conceptual. So when you take all the concepts away, then there's just this. I can't even say it. Can you?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not, you can't say it.
Yeah.
And life and death, both concepts,
Yeah.
just fabrications as
Yeah.
well.
Anything that you can say is conceptual.
So another question that's coming up, and now I came to see that the word body is another word.
Yeah.
Um, and so literally there is no separation between the wordless and everything else.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you
Um,
can also say that everything is the wordless. You
everything
just
is the
you just think
wordless.
it's the body, or you think it's the whatever. You think it's this, that, right? But all of that is just
So,
imaginative.
again, concepts coming up here like, I mean, this might be going in time. What does it mean to like when the body dies? Like, what does that mean then? Like, that's what's coming up here.
Yeah. What if there's no future? And then you go into what's in between death and no death.
Death and no death.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Yeah. It can never be known.
So you're saying like when this body, for example, and this is again this is
We can
all
go
the
into story. We can go into
yeah,
story, but it's just a
yeah,
story, right?
it's just a story,
No
yeah.
one knows whatsoever. There's no one that knows what death is or life is, even if you look at it, because they're just words. We're just
It's just words.
regurgitating words that we have learned from people. It's learned. The word death is learned. What's really death? Is there death even?
Mm.
Is it just a belief?
Yeah.
Do we, when the body dies, is that really death? Or we just put a name called death in it?
And all of these are just words. All of
It is
these.
just word. Yeah, yeah. So if nothing is separate, then how can there be death?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. If nothing is separate, there can't be. Yeah.
yeah. Because
Ultimately,
people are
there's.
looking for the
Yeah.
reincarnation. They're looking for the next reincarnation,
Yeah.
life after death, all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But that's just another concept. It's just another thought.
And even saying the body dying is also a story. It's
It is,
also.
yeah. It is.
Yeah.
There's a tribe in the Amazon that their language is very limited, and they don't have words for numbers. They don't have words for the past, the present, or time. They don't know what time is. So their language is very limited. So when someone dies there, they don't even bury it. They just leave it. Because you know what I'm saying? They might grieve it for a little bit, but they don't have an understanding of what an afterlife is or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So it's
just.
invented, this
Yeah.
afterlife, this reincarnation, right?
Right.
It's just something that's made up again.
Right. It's just made up.
Yeah.
And and now I'm just going into this thought again. But what was coming up was like how everything has two faces.
Hmm.
So like even the body being and not being, it's the same
Yeah.
thing. It's two sides of the same
Yeah.
coin.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
It's still non-separate. It
It's
is
still
still
not
the.
separate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still the wordless. Yeah. So they're not two. Like the life and death we talk about, they're
No.
not two
No.
phenom. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not phenomena. Yeah.
It's fascinating, huh? It's like seeing this with new eyes. So you're like, what the hell is this? Everything is a belief if you look at it.
Yeah.
Even a belief that it's a belief is a belief. See? You can't even
Yeah.
anything that you say is a belief. Even if you
Everything.
defend that it's not a belief, that's a belief.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, do you feel unconditional love?
That's just another word.
Hmm.
There's an unconditionality here. You know what I'm saying? There's a clarity, right? Where
Yeah.
it's just seen as
Yeah.
it is, right? So yeah.
Anything can arise.
Hmm. There's a directness, right? So even
Yeah.
the words, the self, I don't really, you know what, I love the love the word love, but it just
Hmm.
becomes misconstrued as something mystical or
Hmm.
something experiential, right? When you
Yeah.
add the word unconditional love, then it's just a different word for awareness.
Yeah.
It's just a different word for God, all that kind of stuff, right? So
Yeah.
it's just
And
words, basically.
I'm like, bro, there's no awareness. Like, I
I
haven't found
know.
awareness.
I know. I know. And then the other thing is there's no contracted energy. What's the contracted energy now?
There's no
you
contract.
you were like, bro, I have contracted energy in the first meeting. I'm like, what are you talking about, Sid?
The me needs to drop away, man.
The me needs to drop away because I have contracted energy, right? It's like
And I've been waiting for like months for this energy to go away.
I'm gonna
When
take
the fuck?
hey mom, I'm gonna take some time off work because the me is about to drop away. I'm about to go to samadhi. Good luck. You know what I'm saying?
My mama was like, "Who is this guy, Nisargadatta Maharaj?" Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe I should stop eating because maybe that's because the contracted energy is contracted because I'm eating. It creates a whole
Well,
bunch of stories. Yeah.
I heard about your story with Breatharianism, and I was curious, like, what got you into it?
Oh, because you know what? Because I wanted to purify because the moment that the thought would come in, I'm like, oh, I have to purify.
Mm,
So I thought there was something wrong with having thoughts or emotions or feelings. I'm feeling sad. I'm like, I just need to purify. My
right.
mentors at that time will just say, oh, just purify, meditate some more, right? And then, I believed in the aparigraha, right? Which is not holding on to, like, maybe I don't have to hold on to food anymore. And then I believe in brahmacharya, which is the sexual thing.
Yeah,
Maybe I
sorry.
should go celibate, all that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
And all of that, I was doing the yamas basically, right? To be
Yeah.
able to go into full enlightenment, because I'm like, I'm going to go into the, yeah, none of that worked.
Yeah.
Because it's self-motivated, it's self-focused. So it maintains the self, right?
Right.
Um, you know what? When you do fast, what I'm saying, you do feel kind of like a euphoria almost, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that's just the temporal appearance of the body, just and then it can have dangerous consequences too, right? I've heard of someone that had internal organ issues now because of Breatharianism, right? So I don't suggest it because it's just trying to go to the next, it's looking for a result. Kind of like
Right.
what you're doing, everything, not everything, but most of the things that's being um, sold as enlightenment always depends on the next,
On the next.
on the
Yeah.
next. Yeah. When you come to more meetings, when you come to me in person, the energetic is stronger there. Maybe the contracted energy, because I have boundless energy. You have contracted energy. When you meet me in person, then my boundless energy will take over your contracted energy, and then you'll be free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like all these, like even like religion, like all of that is a fabrication.
Yeah.
Like it's such a like I was so outraged because in the morning I was like this feels criminal.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you're always like giving them a carrot on the stick, and there's
Yeah. But
always
it's
an
also it's also innocence at play. You know what I'm saying? So much as I make fun of a whole bunch of this stuff, it's
Mm.
because there's really it's like waiting for the next result. And then we've come to believe that, like, oh, maybe next lifetime,
Yeah,
maybe
that's
next
like
lifetime. Yeah, next lifetime,
you gotta work out your karmas, bro.
Gotta work on my karma. The obedient, like.
So that got you in the hospital, right? Like I heard like the
Oh yeah,
Britannianism.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
How did
because
that?
I was just not eating, and I didn't even, it was so secretive, because I was so secretive about it because I didn't want people to know that I lost my enlightenment. Right.
Right.
So I'm like maybe thinking that if I go vegan, I was overdoing it. I was doing raw vegan. I was only eating fruits that fell off a tree. And then I started dry fasting,
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
drinking, and yeah, yeah. And then when I woke up in the hospital, I'm like, I told the psychiatric nurse, and I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
you don't understand. I'm enlightened. I'm doing this as a practice. You're like, okay, you're gonna be here for a couple of weeks, buddy. That kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. Like that happened to me as well.
Oh, he did. Oh no.
So I was on a 14-day fast, no food.
Oh,
Yeah.
did
So
you do dry fasting?
I was so I was on a 8-day like water fast,
Hmm.
and then I did a dry fast for 4 to 5 days more
Oh
after.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I got into the hospital as well, and
Yeah.
so
Oh my goodness. How long
I
did you
was
stay?
in the hospital. I was there for one night, and then I got out.
One night. Okay, okay. I didn't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
stay for 2 weeks, though. I was able to, I was able to get out, right? But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it was, did you lose a lot of weight?
I lost a lot of weight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing I did find useful, because I was just experimenting with diet,
Hmm.
was so I eat a lot of fruits now, primarily just
Yeah.
for the health benefits.
Yeah.
Uh, and so like now it's not happening because like I'm trying to get something. It's just like something that has stayed because I
Yeah.
just like.
Why not? Yeah. If
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not trying to get something, you know what? It's just what's happening, right? So it's just an occurrence. I eat a lot of pastries, but I also eat a lot of healthy food. So there's a balance here now, yeah.
The balance. Yeah.
Because there's
So
a
what?
there's a character
Yeah.
here that, like, it's very loves eating, right? So
Right.
and the next day I go for a run, or kind of like I drink a lot of I make a lot of shake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of greens, a lot of
Right.
red beets, a lot of, you know, celery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's healthy. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. And
And
so
my
what do you do?
seeking also makes me look younger. So that's what it is.
Yeah. So what do you do outside of like YouTube then?
I DJ, I have fun. I
Oh,
spend
you
time with
still
my, yeah,
you
I
still
still
DJ?
DJ.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's cool.
And then I
Yeah,
have fun with my nephews and nieces. I have really good friends. You know, we go to the cottage sometimes. So it's normal aliveness. Yeah.
it's
Um,
just not.
mhm.
It's just flow of life. Like
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
that's
I,
cool.
spend time with my mom, my dad, right?
And there's a magic to it, right? Like there's magic to
In the
everything.
mundane. Yeah. It's the most mundane things. Yeah. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And especially when you're like when your mind is not constantly clinging to how it should be.
Hmm.
Uh, there is just like
Clarity.
in all situations, like
Yeah.
and because like one thing I start to sense was essentially it was thought that was saying that this is not it, and it was
Yeah.
creating split between this is it versus this is not it.
That's right. What's in between that? This is it and this is not it.
Yeah,
Right? It clears up right away.
even the talk of it is just muddles it up
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, like when I come to like sit with it, it's just like there's nothing really to talk about
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
because there's nowhere to get, there's no next essentially.
Yeah.
um
How old are you, Sid?
I'm 25.
I'm gonna punch you. It took me 40 years. Just joking. I'm happy for you. I'm really, really happy for you.
Yeah.
Right?
And yeah, it's been an insane ride. I'm sure
It
it has
has
been.
been, right? Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. Yeah. But you started at 19 or 18 then, right? Seeking. Wow.
19, 19, yeah.
Wow.
And the seeker was
When I
never
was
there.
19, I was going to raves.
Oh wow.
I was seeking for raves.
I was listening to Rupert's Fire when I was 19, bro. I was becoming more conscious.
That's right. You were being aware of being aware.
Yeah. So this is what I want to talk to you about, right? So like because this is what I started to think, like when I was starting to seek, I don't know if I would have understood what you're saying. Maybe it would have been too direct for me, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like, so what do you have to say about like making concessions for people who are new to this and people who are already seeking for a while and then just cutting the cord?
There's really no, you know what? I've talked to Uber drivers that have no idea what non-duality is. Yeah.
What?
Two of them now. There's two Uber drivers now that I've talked to, right? So, right. That's just another thought.
So how did you talk to them?
They were just asking what I do for a living.
Yeah.
And, I start talking about what I do for a living. And then the first one, I used to use this metaphor as, if someone's looking for freedom, but they don't know that everything is freedom already. The highway
Right.
is a freedom. The car is freedom. The stoplight is a freedom. The car accident is freedom, right? That kind of thing. So he
Yeah.
basically goes, I have to pull over. He goes, I feel really clear. I don't know what's happening, right? So, and
Wow.
and then he basically said, um, I go to a mosque. And he basically, we started talking, like we started talking every other day or something. Then he ended up moving to a different city. He left his mosque, and then now he's like a baller now. He's like sending me pictures. He's having fun with his life. It's just ordinary life without the confines of religion, basically.
Yeah.
And then the other one booked a one-on-one with me. Basically, said, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I have a YouTube channel." And then he looked at channel, and then he booked a one-on-one with me. And then it was just one session too. And he was just like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And he lives close by to me, right? So he the other night he brought me. So he knows that I like gulab jamun,
Yeah.
which
Oh
is
yeah, yeah,
it's my
yeah.
favorite dessert, right? So he
It's
brought me
very good.
some. Yeah. like a big, and he bought me some samosas and gulab jamun right now. So yeah. So yeah, so it doesn't have a prerequisite because that's just a thought, right? I do find that some of the radical non-dualists are harder to crack because they kind of like what you with you, right? You were like you had this big belief system already, right? You had I was talking to someone, they were like, no, it's just not a thought. I'm like, well, that's just also a thought. Because even feelings, when you have feelings, the thought takes over, you know what I'm saying? And it expresses that this is it. And then the thought becomes a belief, and the belief becomes a solid belief.
Right.
There's this person that I was talking to and basically said, it took like maybe 2-3 sessions until that idea of contracted energy.
Right.
Basically, kind of like, but you work fast, right? You were like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah. So
but you were so different from the first time I met you. Your face was just like,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking like, okay, I just need to let it happen. Like I was separating the doer and the no doer, basically. That's what I was confused about.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for a time where I'll no longer be a doer, like, or something like that. So that's why I wasn't doing anything.
That's what happens, right? When people believe that there's nothing to do, they're like, I'm not going to do anything then. I'm going to get evicted tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be homeless, but there's nothing to do. Saying it's just what's happening. My house is burning, but there's no one here. So I guess I'll burn with it. No, the person will run away up, get out of the house. You know what I'm saying? And there's if you really look at it, there's really no doing, but there's a thought of doing.
Yeah.
So it's just not one thing. It's not just there's no doership, right? What's between doership and non-doership? There you go. Yeah.
It's just seamless. Like there's just no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I realized too. One thing I wanted to talk to you about was now, how do you think about like what is actually the utility of having concepts? So, for example, now I think about if I were to read a book, what would be the so-called benefit of reading the book or having more?
Well, if I answer that, I'll just come up with another concept. I'll just come up with another thought.
You will, yeah.
Yeah. So what's between utility and no utility?
Shit.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. It's like every concept.
Yeah.
Is
You've been saying that this is not a concept, it's a concept. When you start defending that this is not a belief, that's a belief, right? So there's no way out of words and concepts because even a way out is just another thought.
Is another concept.
Yeah. In is a concept, out is a concept. Inside, there's no outside.
And even if I were to ask you, like, what's the utility of studying physics or biology? What is biology? That'll be another concept.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can also go, people are asking, what's the purpose then? What's between purpose and no purpose?
Yeah.
So if you like studying physics, why not? You know what I'm saying?
It's concepts, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's just seeking a concept.
Yeah.
I actually watched one of your one-on-ones with someone yesterday. And he was saying the exact same thing. Like he'll buy a T-shirt called "Concepts."
Yeah.
Concepts with this to me or something. I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. In the morning, I felt like I was just chasing like my own tail all the time. Like,
yeah, that's what it is, right?
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
It's so beautiful though, huh? Just the clarity of it.
Just the clarity.
It's alive, right? It's alive. It's like you're not stuck in some someone's idea of what this should be, right?
No,
Did I teach you anything?
no,
No.
for
Did
sure.
I pass on a belief?
No,
There you go, right? It's almost like
that's,
you had to figure it out yourself, right? Not buying what I'm saying,
yeah,
not believing what I'm saying, right?
yeah,
It's like I'm trying I'm trying to push you off the plane because there's no plane. And
right.
but you're like looking for the parachute. I'm like, well, there's no parachute. You're like, what? Because there's no landing. There's no landing, there's no parachute. So and there's also no gravity. So you're just floating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you.
of course. Yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
do anything really. But
So, um,
so what'd you call your YouTube channel?
wake up and flow.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Yeah. Wake up and
By
flow.
Sage Sid. I'm just kidding.
Sid Maharaj or something like that. Siddhartha.
Ramana Sid Nisargadatta Maharaj.
Yeah. UG Sid Murthy or something like
Yeah, yeah.
that. I have
And you
become
have to use Shri 3 times. Shri, Shri, Shri. Sid,
I've
Sage.
become enlightened. I've become enlightened now. I've become enlightened. You know what's funny? Like I was telling my mom, like, Mom, there's only one problem in all of the cosmos, and I'm
Yeah.
after solving that problem. Don't you realize how important this is?
I'm
This
glad that
is
your
what wake
parents are
up and
happy again. I'm glad that they're enthusiastic again and they're like, oh, thank goodness he got out of this,
yeah.
nihilistic depression, right? It was just,
It was rough.
yeah.
Yesterday, after listening to you, like, I went out, and I used to play basketball when I was in school. So I actually went out yesterday and I
Oh,
played
good.
basketball again.
That's good.
With the same energy, because I think with the spiritual mindset, uh, I start to feel a very lack of energy,
Yeah.
um, and just self-suppression, basically. So,
Yeah. There's no me. There's no me to play basketball.
oh
Right.
Jesus, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I wish, like every single time like I'm playing basketball, I'm thinking like am I playing basketball or is the basketball being played? You know what I mean? Just endless.
I think what was devastating what you said, I don't even know if I'm real or not, or something like that, right? You're
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like, but that's just
yeah.
another knowing,
Just
right?
somehow, yeah.
There's a knowing that there's nothing that can be known. Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's also a knowing that there's also a knowing of everything that's known.
Yeah.
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 I'm going to write that down somehow. Right. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing I was having in mind was like for the YouTube channel,
Hmm.
like what was your journey like, and also like what equipment did you have to get to make it like very
Oh, you know
appealing?
what? In the beginning, I just used my webcam, right? But the algorithms have changed. They like
Okay.
4K videos now. So try to get a 4K video.
How do you do that? How do you get
Get a
that to work?
camera that's 4K.
And that won't be an iPhone camera, right? Like I'll have to buy a
Oh yeah,
professional.
iPhone camera is actually a 4K.
Okay, yeah.
You can use
So
an
that would
iPhone
work
camera, but make
horizontal.
it horizontal, yeah, because the thing is good for shorts, but the horizontal, you get
Yeah.
more people viewing you or something, right? I have a person that helps me that was kind of like you see young guy, right? And he basically spent 10 years, oh, similar as you, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he
yeah.
know what he said to me, and he started crying. He goes, I didn't even have a girlfriend for 10 years, bro. No girlfriend for 10 years because
Exactly.
I was seeking radical non-duality. And he basically
Yeah.
said, there's no relationship. So how can I have a relationship? If I have a relationship, then there's a me and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I'm like, go get laid, go get a girlfriend.
Yeah, definitely. That's what happened here as well, actually.
Oh,
Like,
really? Oh,
yeah,
shoot.
yeah. Not 10 years, but like 3 years, definitely 3 to 4 years or something like that. And again, because I was so intense seeking, like whatever I was seeking, I don't know. but like it was so intense, like in seeking, like it just withdrew from everything, like from career and stuff. That's why I was so frustrated. I'm like, bro, like I don't have like a career. Like I haven't really like, I dropped out of college, like master's program because of this, basically. Like
No.
yeah, yeah. Because I came to work here for a Vedanta teacher in India. There's a teacher who teaches Vedanta, and I came here to work there. But what turned out to be the case was the job was just like calling people and asking for funds.
No, no.
That was it. There was not for 16 hours a day. That was the job
No
essentially.
way, you are a telemarketer.
Yeah, I was just a telemarketer. I thought I'll be like, in proximity to him and stuff like that, or maybe something like that. But
And
yeah.
then so your timeline. So you first started, what did you start with basically in your seeking?
Um, so one of the initial ones was the first one was Ramdas,
Yeah.
reading Be Here Now.
Okay.
And I used to read Eckhart Tolle.
Okay.
Um, and then I graduated to Adya and like Rupert Spira,
Mm-hmm.
who were talking about a non-dual kind of message.
Yeah.
I like the Vedantic approach to everything.
Yeah.
Uh, so it sort of appealed to me. And then after Rupert, I felt that I had reached a level after which like I couldn't go with Rupert.
Yeah.
Um, so then I started exploring other options, and so radical non-duality was one of them,
How
because
long did you stay with like radical?
radical must have been like 4 months, 3 to 4 months,
Okay.
five
And
months.
that's when you got depressed.
Yeah, I got depressed recently,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
because then I had like
Because you were saying to me yesterday that you're like, there's no purpose or something, no motivation. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was impacting my career, like just like my focus, and I thought it just wasn't important or anything like that. But now there's just a joy in creativity. There's a joy in like creation,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
unconditional creation, basically. Nothing
Yeah.
expected out of it, but yeah, it's just creation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that.
The vulnerability of the seeker is that you hold on to every word of what everybody's saying, from Rupert to Aja
Yeah,
to radical, all that kind of stuff, right? So when you
yeah,
start hearing that there's no one here, um, when you start hearing that there's no purpose, there's no meaning, then you take that literally. I think that's what you did. You took it
yeah,
literally. Yeah.
yeah,
You think that there's a contracted energy, and you were like, bro, there's a contracted energy. I'm like, what contracted energy?
yeah. I'm
It
like,
was so sad seeing you in the beginning, but I'm so happy that that towards
yeah,
the end we were like, what? What?
yeah. And there's no next. Like,
Yeah.
there's no, it's just like no direction to it.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like not going anywhere.
Yeah. So you've been
Yeah,
to the whole spectrum of non-duality then, right? You went from more traditional and Advaita Vedanta and that kind of
yeah.
stuff. Wow. Yeah.
And it's very simple. Like, there's like, the expectation is that it'll be different from whatever is happening, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. But that's the expectation. That's the next.
that's the next, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I was telling my mom, like, mom, like today I had a glimpse. And she's like, what's a glimpse? Glimpse of what? So I said, so Osho had this video called The Supreme Understanding.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so like I told my mom, I've had the supreme understanding. I've had the glimpse of the supreme understanding. Just explaining it to her and stuff like that. But now it seems like even that was just like words, like
It's just words. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just words, all of
What a
it.
great grand word, though. Mom, I had the supreme understanding.
Supreme understanding.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then I told her, like, mom, I just need 1 or 2 months, and then I will get enlightened.
That's what you said like 2 months ago, right? Yeah.
She's like, okay.
I am going to book, pedicures so that when people kiss my feet, at least my feet is, really pedicured.
Yeah,
Then you have to start taking pictures of me, mom, so we can sell it,
yeah,
pictures with your eyes like this, that kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. This is um unfiltered freedom, unthinkable freedom.
In the story, did you ever feel like lonely on the path to spirituality, disconnected from other
Oh
people?
my goodness. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was it got really bad. I've talked so much about this. I got depressed, I got anxiety, all that kind of stuff, right? But
Yeah,
somehow when this all seemingly clicked, you know, and I could not even find a path to the future. So I could not find depression or anxiety anymore.
that's true.
Yeah. Where is it?
That happened. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a fabrication.
And I did a whole bunch of never ending. I was teaching trauma, shadow work, all that kind of stuff, right? And that didn't even make sense to me anymore because I could not find the narrative anymore. It's all in
Yeah,
the belief and the narrative, right? And it was bizarre, right? Because there was just this boom clarity here, like, oh, and it just keeps on everything that it's like a domino, right? Everything that I think that I've ever known, believed, just went down. Yeah, kind of like what's happening to you. You're like, oh shoot, right?
yeah,
All the remnants basically just keep on tumbling
right.
down. Yeah.
So one thing you said was like everyone is just innocently playing. What did you mean by that? Innocently playing.
Everything is just innocence. That's not even everyone. It's just innocence at play because there's really no good or bad. It's just what's between good and bad.
Right.
Yeah.
What's between you and I,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah.
What's between like me and the laptop,
Yeah.
right? Like it's just like just
Yeah.
words,
Yeah. Just words. Yeah.
seemingly making it seem the world is made of distinct
Yeah.
entities. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, awesome. I can't wait for my YouTube channel to pop up like yours.
Well, I'll share this video then. I'm gonna stop the recording.